Yeah, well, I'm remembering. This is in honour of you anyway, Liv. It's a German philosopher. I don't do poetry so much as stand-up philosophy. And I'm doing a difficult philosopher today. So if you don't get all of it, it doesn't really matter. He is surely one of the greatest philosophers of the early part of the 20th century. A man who had one of those wonderful abilities to make you take an idea you thought you knew terribly well and make you realise you didn't understand it at all. What was more remarkable was the idea in question. It's one of those ideas everybody thinks they know. It was time. And the philosopher in question was Heidegger. And in his great work, Being and Time, written in 1928, you read it for the first time and you feel like your brain's going to explode and you're not sure whether you've gone mad or he's gone mad or what the fudge is happening. And it doesn't really improve very much, although I do find it terribly enriching. But there's something weird about Heidegger. He's an enigma. Because just when he was talking about freedom, just when he was at his most original, at his most creative, that was when he joined the National Socialist Party. And actually, I think you can hear both the originality in this piece, but also the impatience with human history, and a desire to force people to be free. But there's another thing about Heidegger. He's terribly pompous. So for God's sake, laugh. What, I ask you, do we really mean by time? I mean when we free ourselves from that ludicrous, vulgar fancy that has manipulated and hypnotised thought from Aristotle to Einstein, and would try to persuade you that time was outside yourself, and that it was a mere single dimension, an arrow moving forwards, never backwards, or else was like apples in a basket, presents at hand, levelled off, gone, forgotten. What, I ask you, really is time when we free ourselves from these delusions of eternity? How do we face it? How do we face the time in this finitude of our being? What is it but the very horizon of our being? The very to-be of being? Look at yourself then. Do you not see, nested in you, three great temporalities? Call them ecstasies if you like. First and foremost, as I am, I have possibility. I can always be somebody else, think somebody else, do something else, be someone. An index of possibility stretches across my being, all the way, up until it comes to the impossibility, impossible possibility. The possible impossibility, the chasm of my death. And so runs headlong back in blind panic as it learns to try to understand itself amongst what was, as well as what could be. The great having been. The past, not gone, not forgotten, the past of a landscape, or a philosophical tradition, or a nation. But also the past of my mood, when I wake up bored or anxious. Look then in this past, constrained spirit, choose your hero. Be St. Paul, St. Augustine, Luther born again. But do it in your own age, for your own way. This past then yearns towards the future, and the future replies. The two meet then in the great Augenblick, the moment of vision, the present, as the past tumbles into possibility and the possible becomes so real. In this single moment where we feel destiny fall from us, where we feel all the freedom of mortality and all the power of being.